Did you know that body language can reveal deep and fascinating secrets about a woman's interest in someone? There are certain gestures and behaviors that speak louder than words when it comes to attraction, and these cues are rooted in scientifically researched patterns of human behavior. Today, I'll walk you through 11 subtle yet powerful signs that may show a woman's attraction, backed by studies and observations of thousands of women worldwide. Imagine the advantage of being able to notice and understand these signs' insights that can make your interactions more meaningful and genuine. With just a bit of practice, noticing these body language cues can transform your conversations and build deeper connections. So, let's dive into the fascinating world of female body language. One of the most powerful signs of attraction is prolonged eye contact. When a woman gazes steadily, it's often more than just polite interest. It's an intense look that can create a bond. Prolonged eye contact has a unique effect on the brain, as it releases oxytocin, also known as the love hormone. Oxytocin fosters emotional bonding, trust, and attraction. Think about Sarah, a lawyer who finds herself unable to look away from Michael when they talk. This kind of gaze is an invitation, drawing the other person in and creating an invisible, almost magnetic connection. When eye contact is consistent and purposeful, it's more than a glance, it's an opening for deeper interaction. Next time you notice prolonged eye contact from someone, take it as an invitation to engage. Another subtle but clear signal of interest is touch. Studies show that a light touch on the arm, shoulder, or hand during a conversation is rarely accidental. Instead, it's a conscious way to establish a connection, and it actually has a physiological effect. Touch releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and attachment. For instance, Emily, a nurse, often finds subtle reasons to touch Joan's arm as they chat. Her gestures may seem casual, but they're very intentional. Dopamine plays a major role in creating a feeling of bonding, making touch one of the most straightforward signs of attraction. In addition to these chemical changes, touch also creates a sense of warmth and reassurance, which can amplify attraction and a sense of closeness. Leaning in towards someone is another gesture with deep meaning. When a woman leans toward you during conversation, she is, consciously or unconsciously, signaling interest. Nonverbal communication research shows that leaning in is a sign of engagement, trust, and attentiveness. Take Jessica, a teacher who always leans forward when speaking with David. Even without words, her body language communicates that she's fully engaged. Leaning is more than just a matter of space. It's a way of reducing barriers and inviting closeness. In a world where personal space is often guarded, leaning closer to someone during conversation shows a willingness to let them into your comfort zone, signaling trust and attraction. Smiling is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to signal attraction. Genuine smiles are hard to fake. They involve subtle muscle movements around the eyes that make them instantly recognizable. When a woman frequently smiles in your presence, it's a sign that she's happy, comfortable, and likely attracted. Research shows that smiling releases endorphins, chemicals in the brain that create feelings of happiness and well-being. For instance, Lisa, a designer, lights up whenever she speaks to Mark, her smile genuine and warm. Smiling can be contagious too. It creates a positive feedback loop where both people feel at ease, making the interaction enjoyable and potentially deepening the attraction. Mirroring is another subtle but meaningful sign. When someone mirrors your gestures, postures, or even tone of voice, they're showing a subconscious desire to connect. Psychological studies demonstrate that mirroring makes people feel more comfortable and understood, creating an unspoken sense of "we're alike." For example, Emily, an engineer, starts unconsciously imitating James's gestures as they talk, showing a natural desire to connect. This kind of body language is often unintentional, making it an authentic sign of interest. Mirroring also promotes a sense of harmony, subtly saying, "I understand you," which is foundational to forming deeper connections. One of the oldest and most well-known flirting signals is playing with hair. Twirling or touching hair can be a way to signal nervous excitement and attraction. Human behavior studies suggest that playing with hair can be an unconscious reaction to nervousness or interest, especially in romantic contexts. Jessica, an accountant, finds herself twirling her hair whenever she talks to Tom. This small act, often done without much thought, serves as a visual cue that can draw attention and subtly communicate interest. It also highlights vulnerability, showing that the person is comfortable enough to relax and be themselves. Exposing the wrists is a gesture with historical roots in attraction. Often overlooked, the action of showing wrists is a way to signal openness and trust. Studies show that this gesture is linked to vulnerability, as the wrists are sensitive areas with vital arteries. For instance, Rachel, a doctor, often finds herself showing her wrists when speaking to Jack, indicating that she feels secure and open around him. It may seem like an insignificant detail, but exposing wrists is a natural way of showing openness and trustworthiness. This gesture may seem subtle, but it's deeply connected to our instinctive behaviors and can be a clear sign of attraction. Moving closer to someone or stepping toward them is another strong indicator of interest. Reducing physical distance reflects a desire to connect on a personal level. In nonverbal communication, physical proximity signals emotional closeness. Emma, a journalist, often steps toward Alex when they talk, seeking to reduce the space between them. Physical closeness heightens the sense of intimacy and comfort, suggesting that the person feels drawn to you and is comfortable in your presence. A quiet or whispered tone can also create an intimate atmosphere. Lowering one's voice or whispering encourages the listener to lean in, effectively creating a private bubble where only the two people are connected. Research shows that speaking in softer tones fosters intimacy by reducing distance. For instance, Laura, a writer, frequently leans in to whisper to Mike, creating a sense of closeness that's almost like sharing a secret. This small gesture can signal a desire for intimacy and confidentiality. Biting or licking the lips is another subtle yet powerful cue. This gesture often happens unconsciously, drawing attention to the mouth as a focal point of attraction. Studies on human behavior reveal that this act can be an instinctive display of interest. Sarah, a photographer, often finds herself biting her lips when she talks to Tom, signaling a quiet desire for connection. Finally, laughter can create an instant bond. When a woman laughs freely and frequently around someone, it's a sign that she's comfortable, happy, and likely attracted. Laughter releases endorphins, creating feelings of joy and reducing stress. Emily, a therapist, laughs at Michael's jokes often, a clear sign that she enjoys his company and feels at ease. Shared laughter fosters emotional connection and can even deepen attraction, serving as one of the most natural ways to create a bond. Now that you know these 11 body language signals, see if you can spot them in your next interactions. You may notice things you hadn't before, offering insight into how people feel around you. Body language speaks volumes, often saying more than words could ever express. These small signs of attraction can lead to more fulfilling and connected interactions, allowing you to build meaningful connections in an authentic, lasting way.